in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely in my zone.
Hey, Grant Cardone here, News 96.5. You are in the Cardone zone. Every week we come here to talk about your money, your finances. And in this very insecure, uncertain world, folks, you need to be paying attention to your money and your finances, because if you don't, somebody else will certainly look at your finances. Okay, they're happy to look at them. They're happy to confiscate them. Here we are 5 years after the market crash in the U.S. economy. This is Pew Research that was done this week. 5 years after the market crash, the U.S. economy is seen as no more secure than it was before. This is in total agreement with where I'm at right now. While the economy appears to be improving, jobs appear to be improving, numbers appear to be improving, homes appear to be selling, businesses seem to be expanding a bit. What has really changed? I mean, really, we have more debt right now than we've ever had in the history of this nation, $17 trillion in debt. Sooner or later, we got to pay the price for that. Your income is not going up fast enough. I mean, here's some stats for you. 5 years after the U.S. economy faced its most serious crisis since the Great Depression. That only happened 5 years ago. Since the Great Depression, I'm talking about food lines, complete collapse of financial structures. A majority of Americans today, 63%, Republicans and Democrats, say the nation's economic system is no more secure today than it was before 2008 market crash. Just 1/3 think the system is secure. Guess who that 1/3 is? Okay, the very rich who are like, hey, dude, I'm good either way. I actually made more money in this thing than I did before it, because they have the longevity, they have the endurance, they can wait it out. And the other group of people is the ones that are just completely clueless to anything anyway. And I'm going to tell you something. You need to be concerned right now. You're being convinced that things are getting better, and they're not. Now, I'm not telling you that to startle you or scare you. I'm telling you that to get you on your game. Every morning, my office is required to have a meeting. Where are we going? What are we doing? What's happening? Every morning. Because I know the reason we do that is not because I want to have a meeting. I don't want to hear myself talk every day. I don't like coming in on time to, let's get the troops roused up. I'm doing it because I know I'm competing with 800 TV channels that either puke complete nonsense or false information, and I don't want my people to get hypnotized thinking everything's great, everything's fine. The natural tendency is to celebrate. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to party. Everybody wants to have Thanksgiving and Christmas and a day off and Veterans Day and Columbus Day and Celebration Day. Hey man, look, Thanksgiving is dead. In my house, I don't care about Thanksgiving. I don't care about Santa Claus. I don't care about Easter bunnies. My 2-year-old, my 4-year-old can have these fantasies. But the rest of us here, okay, all the adults in this company, show up early, stay late. Do whatever it takes. I don't care. Do whatever it takes. Push, shove. I don't care about last month's record or last quarter's record or how good business is. I care about 5 years after the market crash, the U.S. economy I know to be in no better shape, probably worse shape than it was 5 years ago. Remember what happened 5 years ago. You were on total alert status. You bat down every hatch. There was no crazy spending going on. You weren't worried about Christmas. You were worried about just surviving. You weren't thinking about buying a house or furniture or cars. You were thinking about, hey, I got to tighten this thing down. I got to make it to shore. I got to hope that my tank of air doesn't run out. That's where you need to be right now, folks. Those are the survivors. Those are the people that are going to be inspired to get up every morning and stay late. Large percentages of the household, this is Pew Research done September 12th. Large percentages say household incomes and jobs still have yet to recover from the economic recession. And when asked about the impact of governmental efforts, both Democrats and Republicans say that politicians and politics and the government have done little to help the poor, the lower middle class, or the middle class. I think you'd agree with that. What's done well? Stock market's done well. Who's invested in the stock market? People with money. mutual funds, the Wall Street guys. Most of us are not invested in the stock market. I can't be invested in the stock market. I have to be invested right now in my company, in the expansion of my company and my products, and any company or business that I understand. There's no reason for me to be invested in Twitter. I need to be invested in my business. I need to be invested in Poly. I need to be invested in equipment and computers. We hired 4 more people here. I need 4 more computers. I get a bill for $6,000. I'm like, I forgot about that. I thought adding people didn't cost money. No, but you know what? Making sure they got the equipment they need does. One computer breaks. That's going to cost me another $1,000. I can't operate my business without computers today. I can't operate without telephones and desks. I don't know how to do that. You're listening to Grant Cardone. You're in the Cardone Zone. This is News 96.5. Folks, I'm telling you, the U.S. economy, while it appears to be more secure, you're being hoodwinked. You're being tricked. This is not the time to loosen up. I've said that every week I come here and tell you this. Broad majorities say governmental policies following the recession have done not much or nothing at all to help poor people. That's 72% say poor people have not been helped. Middle class people, 71% say the middle class hasn't been helped. And small businesses, 67% of all small businesses surveyed said they are in a worse position today than they were 5 years ago. What about you? What about you? Are things changing for you? Because at my company, this is what we worry about, okay? Financial security. Financial security. In my household, I worry about financial security. With my wife, it's financial security. Every flight I take, give me the price between first class, coach, and a refundable ticket. I want to see the choices. For every one of my people that fly, every hotel, is there a better choice? Is there a cheaper way to do this? For many of you that have heard or followed me for years, you're like, Grant, when did you get so conscientious about the money you spend? Yeah, I got conscientious when Lehman collapsed. My world changed when Lehman collapsed. I refused to go back and put myself, my family, or my company in that situation and think that things are going to be loose and great forever. They're not going to be. What do you need to do to batten down your hatches? Here's what I'm doing. Number one, my financial security, my family's financial security is the number one priority in our household. The number one priority in my household is our financial security long term so that I can continue to expand and grow despite what happens. I have complete, total reliance on myself. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is have complete, total 100% reliance on yourself and your abilities and your company, and look to no one else to solve your problems. Anyone that looks to a government program, assistance, support, Medicare, Obamacare, any of these cares, if it ends in care, they ain't going to care for you. Okay? You know why? Because the program's going to be busted. Social Security, unemployment, anything that requires the government, you can only depend on one thing: nothing. Don't depend on them. They're $17 trillion in debt. They can't even pay that. You know you're getting false information every day. So number one, no one else can help you but you. Number two, you have to create more income. I tell every one of my people this every day. It's not my job to give you more money. It's not my job just to give you a raise. You have to figure out in your department how to get more money come into this department, and then you can convince me to give you some of that, but you have to create more income. I don't care if it's your kid. If the 2 kids need to go out and earn money, I don't even care how old the kids are. My kids are 4 years old and 2 years old. If I could get them to do some modeling, photography, TV, whatever, hey, I'd put them on in a second to create income. If I could rent my house, the place I live at, anything I can do to create more income that will create more income than my time is worth, I will do. The third thing is you need multiple flows. At some point, you need multiple dependable flows of income. And you need to bank your paper. Once you got enough money coming in, you got to bank paper, because somebody's going to say, hey, Grant, we need 3 new computers. Jake's on the phone. Jake, thanks for calling. What's your question?
Grant Cardone, what's going on, man?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Well, I just want to let you know I'm 20 years old. I'm working at an MLM company called ACN right now. Within the last year and a half, I've built a dynasty of over 1,500 business partners. And the reason I'm calling is because I wanted to share with everybody. I know you're talking about stacking that money right now, but The vital point in my business was when I went all in and just put my head down. Really, it's that flip of the switch going from non-beast mode to beast mode. And I just wanted to ask you, right now I'm in a vital point in my business to where, I have a good amount of momentum going on. I'm putting about 100 business partners in my business right now per month, and I just want to step it up to the next level. I want to go, financially to the next level. I want to start putting in 500 business partners a month, and I was going to see if you had any advice for me.
Well, number one, I love this idea that you're moving into beast mode, all in, just completely dedicated, obsessed, kind of over the top. This beast mode that you talk about is the one that most of America has. It's almost like it's not popular or okay to be like that. It's you hear people labeled for being obsessed or compulsive, or there's even the work addiction. I mean, somebody said, "Oh, you must have a work addiction." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, a work addiction, bro. But I'm telling you, what I got is a obligation addiction. You know what I'm saying? I'm obligated to not be a freaking failure again because I tried it and it was a miserable experiment. So what Jake's telling you folks is you got to go all in now. You got to be completely committed to something or you're committed to nothing. And if anybody, my inspiration today is not just my 4-year-old, my 2-year-old, my wife. Those are inspirations for me. But the real inspiration for me is what came out of this Pew Research, where people are saying, look, most people are agreeing this economy, when they're not being sold a bunch of a bill of goods, this economy is not better off. Look, I have no clue what Obamacare is going to cost me and my company. I know this. 2 weeks from now, I have it on my calendar to sit down with my CFO and say, okay, what's healthcare costs? I can't look at it this week because I'm committed, but I got to look at some point. What is the healthcare thing? I don't understand it. I don't know if anybody does understand it. If I Google it, I get more confused about it. Interest rates, where are they going? I dare you to search interest rates and find, when you read 3 or 4 articles, you will be more confused than when you started reading it. Are they going to go up or are they going to go down? Oh, what if the Fed releases more funds into the marketplace? What's going to happen with inflation? Are we being inflated on or deflated on? I'm not sure. I'm a pretty intelligent guy. I don't know. And when I can't figure it out because it's so complicated, I'm like, okay, Grant, you know what you do? Do the one thing you know to do. Hustle, buddy. Hustle. Focus on your business. Grow your business. Control the things you can control. Folks, you're listening to Cardone Zone. This is the zone, baby. This is where we get you right for the rest of the week. My name's Grant Cardone, your News 96.5. Stay with me. I'm going to come back and talk about the exact things you need to be doing to make sure you are financially secure.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone.
Your mic is hot. You still have the caller online. Hey, Jake, thanks for calling in. Bro, go build those 500. Do what you're doing right now. Do video, get on Facebook, bang Twitter, beat it all to death, bro, like it's yours.
Well, here's the thing, man. My main thing, being so young, I've been watching, your Young Hustlers videos and all that kind of stuff. And you're just a closing expert, man. I mean, I've been watching your stuff for about a month now, and my closing rate literally went from like 1 out of 10 up to 3 out of 10 just in the last month here. So it's been phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Yeah, why don't you stay on? I'd love to have you. I'd love that feedback from you when we come back.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question when we come back, all right?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely in my zone.
Hey, welcome back. Grant Cardone here in the Cardone Zone. Typhoon hits the Philippines this weekend, maybe 10,000 dead. Hundreds of thousands of lives will be financially damaged. not to mention all the losses. The amount of grief and pain people are feeling over there is unbelievable. Dude, there's uncertainty in the world. There's not a week that goes by that somebody's not hit with some typhoon. You know, whether it's a school shooting, a weather typhoon, or hurricane, or uncertainty is everywhere, whether it's financial, or we find out somebody lied to us, or we can't even log on to a website that we're supposed to get our health care from. You live in an uncertain world, and I got a 20-year-old, Jake, on the phone with me right now who's doing multi-level marketing. Now, Jake, I got to tell you, dude, you're one of my heroes because you are doing, one, you're 20 years old, and number two is because you're more interested in your finances, I'm thinking, than chasing all the things 20-year-olds chase. I can't say all that on radio. And the third reason, bro, is because you're using multi-level. I'm going to tell you, I love multi-level. I love the people that join multi-level. I love the whole pyramid. Oh, my God, it's a pyramid. Yeah, what isn't a pyramid? We've had pyramids since Egypt.
Exactly. And here's the thing, Grant, is my parents actually, they got involved with multi-level marketing for the first time 7.5 years ago, where my dad was a traditional business owner, totally time lost, money lost. We had no time or money. And they started 7.5 years ago. Today they're senior vice presidents, multimillionaires. So I've really gotten it from them, and I'm just following their track, doing the Young Hustlers version now.
What's the name of the MLM? What's the name of the multi-level marketing?
ACN.
ACN, and what does that stand for?
All Communications Networking.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about you guys. Great company,
Yep.
ACN. Okay, Jake, how do you spell your last name, Jake, if anybody wants to hook up with you?
Dowd, D-O-W-D.
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 He's with a group called ACN. Can you tell me what kind of money you project to make next year?
Well, last year I made $136,000, and next year for 2014, I'm projecting to make $1,500,000.
Pat-ow. Congratulations now, bro. See, this is Jake. How old are you, Jake?
20 years old.
20 years old, bro. Made $136,000. What do I tell you every week on this show? You have to get
a young hustler, man.
Yeah, baby, but you got to get your income. I'm telling you, get your income above $120,000 a year. I don't care who you are or how you do it. It doesn't matter to me. As long as it's legal, man, you got to figure out how to get your income above $120, okay? Because those are the people that have enough money left over every year to actually save or invest. If you don't have any money, dude, you can't save and invest. Jake, thanks for calling in, bro. You are an American entrepreneur, dream come true, and you sound like somebody I'd be proud to have as my own son.
Well, here's the thing, Grant. My brother and I are young hustlers, man. We'll hop on a flight to Miami tomorrow. We would love to even come over there and talk to you, and to be able to work for you it'd be crazy.
Dude, it sounds like you need to stay where you're at right now. Hey, I appreciate it. Come fly in. You know, me and my wife are in Miami 3 or 4 times a year, so come fly in and see us at the beach. Thanks, Jake, for calling in.
Thank you.
Look, here's the deal, folks. Jake's taking his financial security in his own hands, okay? You got friends and buddies and uncle, daddy, aunt. Oh, you can't do multi-level. You can't get rich. You can't get out. Just be satisfied. Just get a good job. You know what a job is? A job is nothing. A job is something you show up late for and you want to leave early at, okay? If these guys that are with me on the show today, if they're just here for the job, they won't be here when it's over. I guarantee you they're going to quit me at some point in the deal. I'm not here at a job. I'm here to create financial security, and I want people that are like, hey, man, I want to make this fun. I want to make it great. I want to make it explode, Grant. I want to be so important to the company that, I know that's the kind of employees you want. And if that's the kind of boss you would be, like, you got to get all in like Jake did. Here's a kid that's going to make $136,000 this year and $1.5 million. Stay with me on the Cardone Zone. I'm going to come back and talk about how you too can have financial freedom and quit worrying about bullying and typhoons and Obamacare.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely in my zone. get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely
Kanye West doesn't want me in my zone, but Grant Cardone wants you in your economic zone. We're talking about financial security. I'm telling you, the world is an uncertain place. And the only people that have financial certainty are the people that are getting up early and staying late and focused on it every day. In my household, the number one concern in my household, and we will spend our last pennies getting there, is financial security. Full 5 years after Lehman's downfall and the start of the Great Recession, mature economies are growing at a slower rate than they were before the recession. Mature economies, America, England, these are mature economies. They have very strong middle classes. Add to that the fact that younger economies with expanding middle classes, Brazil, China, are lending money at rates that the world, the planet, has never, ever seen before. Okay, you think we were borrowing a lot of money back in 2007? Brazil is borrowing money for everything you can make for the first time. Everybody there is getting money. What happens when Brazil slows down? Or what happens when China slows down? Well, Grant, what does happen? When the world slows down, we feel it. When we slow down, the world feels it, okay? What is going to happen? Do you know? Do you understand the possibility of inflation? Or even worse, deflation? I don't fully understand it. What happens when the interest rates go up? Or what if they stay low again? I don't know what to do about it. What's going to happen with housing? Is housing going to recover and you're going to miss your next big house deal? Or you could sell now and buy another house? Look, the truth is you shouldn't be worried about any of that stuff because you can't understand it anyway, and there's so much false information about it. The only thing you need to figure out is how to be a professional in that one career you have right now. Get so good at what you're doing. Malcolm Gladwell talks about this in Outliers. He says, look, 10,000 hours is what you need. 10,000 hours focused on one activity so many times over and over that you understand it, that you don't have to effort, that you understand it so well. It doesn't require a college degree, folks. It requires attention, a commitment. This is what a 20-year-old kid just told me on the phone. He's like, hey, man, I'm going to make $130 this year. I'm going to make $1.5 million next year. What's he doing? He's doing multi-level. They don't teach you that in school. They teach you that outside the box. Look, I'm willing to go outside of any box or outside of any thinking in order to get what I want in my life so that I can take care of my kids. My 4-year-old's at school. The teachers saying, hey, if you could spend some time with your daughter on math, that would be good. I'm teaching my 4-year-old math classes like last night. I'm like, baby, what's 1 + 1? She's like, I don't know. I said, well, 1 million's always a good answer. 1 million's better than no answer at all. When your daughter says, what's 1 + 1 or what's 1 + 3, if you don't know for sure, Sabrina, just say 1 million. Okay? Just say a big number because you're going to need some big numbers. You guys, the 90 million Gen Yers out there, the new millenniums, you guys you're borrowing money to go to college and can't get a job when you get out of college. It doesn't make any sense. Don't you understand? You've been sold a bill of goods that doesn't work. Financial security. If you're going to have it, it's going to come because of you. Nobody's going to keep you from it. There's no 1%. The 1%ers aren't out there. Trust me, this weekend, the 1%ers aren't on a yacht or showing up at some mountain retreat saying, how can we hold down the middle class? They don't even think about the middle class. You know what they think? Oh, the middle class will hold itself down. The middle class is so worried about how much they're going to spend or not spend this Christmas. The middle class is so worried about what they get paid by the hour. They could never have our wealth. They just won't throw down big enough. So the 1%ers are not holding down the 99%ers. Trust me, there is no conspiracy against the 99%ers. The 99%ers are too busy holding down themselves, thinking the government's going to take care of you. But when I get you quiet aside, I'm like, hey, you think the economy's in good shape? No, man, it sucks. It's bad, but I'm grateful it's better. I'm just grateful it's better, but it sucks underneath all this. Then you got to get ready. You got to get ready right now. What does that mean? Number one, no one else can help you but you. You have to become completely self-reliant. When I was 25 years old, I was broke. I kept depending on other people to help me, and other people kept letting me down. It wasn't until I became completely self-reliant. I became so important to the company that I worked for, yet self-reliant within myself, that I became a company within the company. I quit the company, and the company went broke. That's how important, how integral I had become to this company. And that only happened when I made a decision that no one else would help me. Not the owner, not the business manager, no one. I did everything. I was selling cars at the time. And the finance manager, when I'd bring a deal to the finance manager and he couldn't get it done, I would take the deal back from the finance manager and I would call GMAC and I would call the banks and I would call First National and City National and Lake National and every national until I got a deal done. No one else can help you but you. Become self-reliant completely. Number 2, you got to create more income. Okay? You have to create, I don't care what your income is today, you must figure out how to add $1 to it. First, add $1. Don't just throw your hands up and say, I can't earn more money. My boss won't give me a raise. There's no way. Dude, I don't care. Earn $1 extra. You know? Pick somebody up from the airport and get $20 for it. Once you raise $1, then $20, then $200, raise another $1. And then once you see, oh, wow, man, I can actually create more income. The third thing is you need more flows. You need multiple flows of income that you can trust on and be responsible for. And the last thing is you need to bank paper until you can invest it. Paper, money, digits, accumulation. And you can accumulate until you're able to make a serious investment, which would be step 5. Nick's on the phone with me. Nick, thank you for calling, sir. What's your question?
Grant, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I actually, I knew your name from the 10X Rule, and I just want to say it's an awesome book. It really changed everything for me. But my question that I had to ask you was, I saw you tweet something about this guy that was going to be a millionaire by age 21, and I just wanted to know what this kid's doing.
The guy that just called in, his name's Jake, and he's doing multi-level with a group called ACN. And I'm happy to get you Jake's number so you can hook up with him and learn about it.
Oh yeah, I'm actually involved in multi-level as well, but
you want some of that 7-digit play, don't you?
8 digits.
No, notice how many young people are calling in right now, okay? Look at the young guys that are calling in right now saying, hey, I'm interested. Look, folks, you're not going to learn this in college. What I'm telling you right here, 10X rule that he just referred to. How old are you?
19.
19 years old. He's read my book called The 10X Rule. That was the Hey, what's up? Thank you. Hey, appreciate you calling in, Nick.
Grant.
The 10X Rule right over here, over my shoulder, is a book about how much activity somebody has to generate and how to write goals, how to create goals that are so massive that if you're 19, you're excited every day. If you're Jake at 20, you're jacked up. If you're 55 years old, like I am, you're waking up every morning saying, let's go. I literally can't go to sleep at night, man. I'm like, oh my God, man, this is going to be big, baby. I'm more excited about my life today than I ever have been. I'm shaking over here. I'm so jacked. I'm so excited. That's how you want to start your week. I go to sleep on Sunday nights. I ain't thinking about Thanksgiving. I don't care about a turkey going into a fryer. What do I care about that? You know, you got a third of America now has come from another country, influenced by another country. They're not thinking about Thanksgiving and pilgrims. Are y'all celebrating the pilgrims? No. Probably don't care about the pilgrims, you know. So when Macy's says, hey, we're going to open at 8, and then Walmart comes out and says we're open at 6, folks, Thanksgiving is dead. It's over like the turkey. It's done. It's dead. It's deceased. Put it away. Thanksgiving is nothing to celebrate. Let everybody else celebrate. Let everybody else eat so much that they can't move the rest of the day. I love it that we're open Thanksgiving. If it was up to me, we would never have a vacation. Everybody would work 365 days of the year. Say that to an immigrant. Say that to somebody that's moved from Europe or the Persian countries or China or Japan. You say, hey, man, what do you think about us working 360 days of the year? They'd be like, dude, I'm all good for it. I don't care. That's all I'm going to do every day anyway. I just don't want to be broke again. Financial security. If you're going to have it, you can have it. Everybody can have it. Doesn't matter your intelligence level. If you're going to have it, folks, well, number one, depend on no one else but yourself. Number two, you must create more income. I don't care how you do it as long as it's legal. 3, multiple flows. Nobody gets rich off of one flow. And number 4, bank that paper, bank those digits, stack them, pack them, protect them, and get ready to save them. Okay? Get ready to save them for as long as you need to until you can make an investment without diversification. I don't want to diversify too much. I want to make a commitment to something I understand. Shanette's on the phone with me. Shanette, thank you for calling. What's your question?
Oh, Grant, I was looking at your tweet about sharing your success, and I just wanted to share you a little bit about me.
Please do. Thank you for calling.
I married very young. I was 18 years old, had a daughter about 21 years old, and then divorced. And my family felt that I should just raise my child, not go to college, and, Dad would give me an allowance. I decided to go to college and got some help from a group called Seroptimus, and then went on to work for a company doing that did actually earthquake, fire, and flood reports. When they hired me, they said, we only want you to work part-time, and they gave me a small territory. I never worked part-time. I always put in a full-time day, and I eventually ended up being vice president of the company and running 5 California counties for them.
Wow.
So I just want to say never give up on your dream. Never listen to other people who try to define who you are or what you are going to do.
Right. If I want to get tall, I got to talk to tall people, right?
That's right.
Because when you're short like me, I just don't have a lot of good advice down here. I don't go to Danny DeVito and say, hey, Danny, what's it like to be tall? He just don't know. So that is unbelievable. Now how old are you now?
I am 59 years old.
She's 59 years old. 18 years old, she had a child.
Early.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to summarize. At 18, you had a kid, right?
At 18, I got married. At 21, I had my daughter.
Okay. At 21,
then I went to college.
I got it. Okay. And now she goes over and takes it over territory. She committed to her business. They said, do part-time. She said no. Hey, folks, she's telling you the way to do it, okay? It's called the 10X rule. You 10X whatever you think the activity is and whatever's required. She is telling you exactly what to do. Shanette just called in from California. Thank you, Shanette, for that call, and thank you for your success. You're a great American entrepreneur. I love that story. Here's a woman that said, hey, look, you know what? I was offered a part-time deal and said, hey, that's ridiculous. Come on, part-time is a fairy tale. Anybody that tells you, like a multi-level marketing company, this is the biggest mistake guys that are in multi-level make with me. They want to pitch me their deal. Grant, man, you'd be great. You know a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. You could do this part-time. Dude, you just lost me right there on the part-time thing. I don't do anything part-time. Nothing. If I got 5 jobs, I'm doing them all full-time. Grant, that's impossible to do 5 jobs full-time. No, it isn't. I do every job like it's full-time. I'm a father full-time. I'm not a part-time dad. I'm not a part-time husband. What kind of husband would that be? I'm a part-time husband. When I go out of town, I'm not a husband then. That's stupid. Whatever you do, you got to do it all out, full in, all in, committed, completely committed. That's why when I walk in this office every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day, I'm doing a sales meeting with my people. I'm doing a meeting. Who are we? What are we? What are we doing? I just wrote an article about training that sticks for an organization. And it shocks me how many companies are not training their people today, won't invest money in their people, but they send their kids to school. Look, if you don't believe in education and training, don't send your kids to school. If you don't believe in training and educating your company and the employees, tell your customers that. Can you imagine you're working for a company that doesn't train and doesn't educate their people? Can you imagine telling your customers, we don't train our people. We don't teach people skills. We don't invest money in our human people. We invest in technology. We invest in advertising. We do not invest in people. When we come back from break, I'm going to tell you why the Dolphins are having this bullying scandal, and I'm going to tell you the perfect training schedule for your company, and I'm going to take a caller as well. This is Grant Cardone. You're in the Cardone Zone. If you were appalled by the Dolphins bullying scandal, stay with me and be in the Cardone zone. It's Grant Cardone. Stick.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely in my zone.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the people following me on Twitter. Always appreciate you guys following me on Twitter. By the way, you're going to have a chance, if you're not watching this live, at the end of this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, please like or comment on the channel. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me, and who knows, maybe I'll make some money off of YouTube one day. John Math says, nobody gets rich off of one flow of income. Find different ways to make money. Yeah, I love that. Sherry Hamilton. Go all in, it'll pay off. Jeremy Chadson retweeted, create multiple revenue streams. Peugeot Matt and Green Economy Business retweeted me. Oh, by the way, we just got 80 followers over here at grantcardone.com. Oh, Grant Cardone on Twitter, Grant Cardone. Renee Porte Limited, create multiple streams of blow flow. I think I added something to that. Tyler Stevens, 19-year-old caller, read 10X Rule. I'm impressed at all with excitement, interested in more. It's called the 10X Rule, babe. The 10X Rule, that book, would jack a freaking dead man. I'm telling you. I know. I heard a guy called in and said, "Man, my grandfather died and we buried him Sunday." I said, "Shit, get him a copy of the 10X Rule, player. Call me back. He might rise up." Okay. Yeah, you think I'm getting carried away? I'm not. I'm not getting carried away. I'm serial. That's right. Great. Razzla Ann retweeted, become so important to your company, you become a company within a company. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Anito Pinto, don't fall for the college debt. David Sabasco, I'm thinking and staying outside the box. Notice, David, that I haven't dropped any F-bombs today. Christopher Grigsby, Lisa takes over Miami on her back. Okay. Akia Booker, make financial security your top priority. Thank you guys for following me. That's just some of you. If I left you off there, I'm sorry. I'm at Grant Cardone on Twitter, and I'm Cardone Success on Facebook. Shane Sullivan says the 10X Rule is my Bible, and Grant Cardone. Okay, let's go back to the show. AM Stark photo. Rock on, dog.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely in my zone.
It's too late. Too late. You can't let me in my zone. I'm in my zone. I'm fine in my zone. I'm going there. The rest of the world can make excuses. The rest of the world can depend on government. You want to depend on unemployment, Social Security, food stamps. I just got to, when you find out it's not going to work, you won't be surprised because you guys already know it's not going to work. You already know the country's broke. Everybody knows it. It's just a matter of us making it official now. And we'll find out the number's not $17 trillion. The number's $50 trillion. And there's no way out of it. And you'll look back. It could be 7 years before when we find the truth out, or maybe 10 years. You can look back and say, oh, my God. That's why, folks, you have to break your normal habits right now. You have to go back to say, hey, how am I going to get out of this deal? How am I going to make sure my family's all right? Because the day's going to come. The reckoning will happen. The typhoon that hit the Philippines. The people are over there right now saying, you know what? We've been talking about 10 years now leaving this island. They lose their whole family. It's terrible. It's unbelievable what happened to that island. But for years, they've talked about it. Do you know that 3 of the top 8 typhoons, hurricanes or typhoons, were in the Philippines since the year 2010. The top 3 that have ever hit the planet. So they know. Financial security. No one else can help you but you. Create more income. You have to figure out, I don't care if it's another 50 cents a week. You start with 50 cents and then you get to $50 and then you get to $500 and then you get to $5,000. You got to figure out how to just take it in increments up. Multiple flows. Nobody gets financial security without multiple flows of dependable income, and then you bank paper like Warren Buffett. Warren says, I always carry a loaded rifle because I never know when I'm going to see an elephant. He keeps cash on hand. He's willing to have dead money so that he can pull a trigger with enough confidence and certainty, because you can't make real good investments if you're spending your last pennies. You're going to go in scared. Steve's on the phone with me. Steve, what's your question?
Hey, Grant, what's up, man?
Hey, thanks for calling in, Steve.
Yeah, I don't really have a question. I just figured I'd give you a buzz. It's your number one young hustler on the phone with you today.
Dude, I love that, man. I love that, brother. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. What do you do for work?
Well, I do a bunch of stuff. I got a pressure cleaning business. I'm an AC technician, and I deliver Chinese food on the weekends.
Dude,
so I got 3 flows.
My man. We 3 drips. You got 1 flow and a couple of drips, right?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Dude, I love that. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, okay? Look what this guy's doing. Here's Steve, man. He's got 2 flow. He's got 1 flow probably. He's got his main deal, probably his pressure washing deal is his main flow. And then he's got a couple of drips. He's doing pizza. Look, that's how it all starts. That's how everybody does it. You just got to hustle, folks. And then you got to start hanging around other people that are hustling and get in organizations that don't allow bullying. Okay, like the Miami Dolphins. This is, the one part of this story that's not being covered is the fact that the company, the owner, the president's like, oh my God, I'm so shocked that people talk like this in these text messages and they're dropping the N-bomb. It's racial. Bro, you own the Miami Dolphins and you're so disconnected. You're telling me you're so white, so country club white that you don't know this goes on in your locker? Come on, please. You've been in this game this long and you don't know this happens? Can't believe that. Here's the worst part of that, though. If you got bullying going on in your organization, shame on the owners and shame on the company that has got nothing else to do that one player would bully another player. It's just ridiculous. That doesn't happen in my office. You know why? Because we're busy winning games, baby. We're busy winning games. I'm busy looking to win something. I'm looking for financial security for myself, my family, my wife, my kiddos, and my business. I want my business to be financially secure. Had a meeting last night with the vice president of sales in my company and said, hey, what if our technology changes? Are we ready for that? Stay on alert, folks. Stay ready. Stay paranoid. Depend on no one except yourself. You're listening to Grant Cardone. This is Cardone Zone every Sunday night. Me and my friends at News 96.5 bring you something so you can thrive and survive. That's what they do at News 96.5. Love the Orlando market. Love this town. Love this city. Be great, folks. Nothing else pays.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm definitely in my zone.